Your biggest source of stress. Check timeline for your zodiac sign. Aries. Your biggest source of stress is pushing yourself until you completely burn out. You have a hard time slowing down or allowing yourself real rest, even when your body and mind are begging for it. When anxiety hits, your instinct is to work harder, take on more responsibilities, or keep yourself constantly busy so you don't have to sit with uncomfortable feelings. At first, this distraction feels productive, but it quickly becomes overwhelming. Instead of easing stress, it compounds it. You convince yourself that stopping means falling behind, but that mindset only drains you faster. Learning to pause without guilt is essential. Rest isn't weakness. It's the reset you need to keep going without exhausting yourself. Taurus. Your biggest source of stress is your fear of failure. You thrive on achievement, praise, and feeling capable. So the idea of not excelling at something deeply unsettles you. When anxiety creeps in, you respond by pushing yourself harder, believing effort alone will prevent mistakes. You try to turn stress into motivation, but when you inevitably fall short of perfection, it hits you hard. Instead of seeing failure as normal, you spiral into self-criticism. You forget that imperfection doesn't erase your worth or success. Learning to accept setbacks as part of growth would ease so much of your stress. You don't need to be flawless to be valuable. You already are. Gemini. Your biggest source of stress is impulsive decision-making. You dislike slowing down to analyze situations, preferring to act in the moment and figure things out later. While that spontaneity can be exciting, it often places you in situations that heighten your anxiety. You sometimes commit to things you shouldn't or avoid thinking through consequences, which creates stress you didn't need to experience. Much of your anxiety ends up being self-inflicted, even though you don't intend it that way. Be kinder to yourself about past choices, but also try pausing before jumping in next time. Giving yourself a moment to think things through could save you a lot of unnecessary stress. Cancer. Your biggest source of stress is instability. You crave emotional safety, routine, and a strong sense of comfort in your environment and relationships. When those things feel threatened or disrupted, your anxiety skyrockets. You need reassurance, consistency, and affection to feel grounded, and without them, your mind quickly spirals into worst-case scenarios. Even small changes can feel overwhelming when they shake your sense of security. You retreat inward and struggle emotionally when your support system feels uncertain. Creating dependable routines and nurturing relationships that offer steadiness can help you manage stress more effectively. Feeling safe, both emotionally and physically, is not a luxury for you. It's essential to your well-being. Leo. Your biggest source of stress is your need for control. As a natural leader, you feel most comfortable when you're guiding situations and making decisions. When someone else takes charge or things unfold without your input, you feel unsettled and tense. It's not about ego, it's about security. Being in control reassures you that things won't fall apart. When that control is taken away, you're unsure where you fit or how to contribute. This uncertainty fuels your anxiety. Learning to trust others and accept that not every situation requires you to lead would ease a lot of stress. You don't lose your strength by stepping back sometimes. Leadership doesn't disappear just because you aren't always in charge. Virgo. Your biggest source of stress is inefficiency and imperfection. You have a very specific way of doing things, and when systems don't work smoothly, your anxiety spikes. You notice every flaw, shortcut, and mistake, and it feels impossible to ignore them. Your desire for perfection often turns into pressure, making even small disruptions feel overwhelming. It can feel like you're constantly fighting chaos. While your standards help keep things running well, they also exhaust you. Not everything needs to be optimized to be good enough. Learning to tolerate imperfection and accept that not everything will go according to plan can help quiet the stress that feels never-ending. Libra. Your biggest source of stress is conflict and imbalance. You are deeply uncomfortable in situations where things feel unfair, tense, or chaotic. As a natural peacekeeper, you want everyone to get along, and when they don't, you feel personally affected. Arguments, hostility, or unresolved tension weigh heavily on you and make it difficult to relax. You often absorb the emotional energy around you, especially when people are fighting. This constant desire to restore harmony can become overwhelming. Learning that it's not always your responsibility to fix everything would ease your stress. Chaos isn't a personal failure. even if it feels like one. Scorpio, your biggest source of stress is vulnerability. Despite your strong and guarded exterior, you are incredibly sensitive beneath the surface. Letting people see the real you doesn't come easily, and when your guard is down, anxiety quickly follows. The fear of being exposed, misunderstood, or hurt makes emotional openness stressful. You prefer control over your emotions, but situations that force honesty or emotional intimacy can leave you feeling tense and on edge. Your shell protects you, but it also isolates you. Learning to trust selectively and allow vulnerability with the right people can help reduce stress. Being seen doesn't always mean being hurt. Sagittarius, your biggest source of stress is feeling trapped. You thrive on movement, exploration, and constant change, so predictability and routine feel suffocating to you. When life becomes repetitive or stagnant, anxiety starts to build quickly. You fear being stuck in one place, one role, or one version of yourself. Monotony makes you restless and unsettled, even if everything appears fine on the surface. You need new experiences and fresh perspectives to feel alive. When that freedom feels limited, stress takes over. Creating small changes, new goals, or adventures, no matter how minor, can help ease this anxiety. Growth and discovery aren't luxuries for you. They're essential for your sense of peace. Capricorn, your biggest source of stress is the pressure you place on yourself to always be responsible. You feel consumed by the need to do the right thing, even when it costs you your peace. You often deny yourself rest or spontaneity because you believe discipline must come first. While this mindset has helped you succeed, it also creates constant internal tension. You worry about making mistakes or letting others down, and that weight can be exhausting. Learning to release control occasionally and allow yourself flexibility would reduce much of your stress. You're allowed to enjoy life without earning it first. Responsibility doesn't disappear just because you choose ease every once in a while. Aquarius, your biggest source of stress is emotional attachment. You value independence and solitude. And while you care deeply about others, too much emotional expectation feels overwhelming. Being pressured into commitment or feeling permanently tied to someone triggers anxiety. You need space to think, breathe, and exist without constant emotional demands. When that space feels threatened, stress sets in quickly. You aren't detached, you just process emotions differently. Learning to communicate your need for freedom without guilt can help you maintain healthier connections. Independence doesn't mean you don't care. It means you need room to be yourself. Relationships feel safest to you when they allow individuality rather than obligation. Pisces, your biggest source of stress is being overwhelmed by expectations and structure. You struggle when life becomes too rigid, deadline-driven, or demanding. Pressure builds quickly, and when it does, even small things can bring you to tears. You're highly sensitive and deeply creative, so environments that lack flexibility drain you emotionally. You want to escape responsibility when it feels suffocating. While it may seem unrealistic, that desire comes from needing gentleness, not avoidance. Finding ways to balance structure with creativity can ease your stress. You function best when you're allowed emotional freedom alongside responsibility. Without that balance, stress quickly takes over your gentle, imaginative heart. Thank you for watching the video, and let me know your thoughts in comments box below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all the updates.